Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. All right, so I'm going to start this as I didn't do my morning prayer yet. I'm going to I'm going to do it with you people. I'm going to just open my computer. So I got 4 computers just to do this live stream for you to keep on the information. I will try not to get trolled, but I will get trolled because I am a passionate one. Good morning, Louise. Louise, that's a song. Listen, Louise Gowenlock. I'm gonna have to Google it. Okay, so there's a few. So I'm going to just quickly do a Psalm 1. All right, this is my. I love the Psalms in meter. I won't sing it. I'm sorry. And meter is what it means. O blessed man, that in the advice of wicked doeth not walk, nor stand in sinners' way, nor sit in chire of scornful folk, but in law of Jehovah in his longing delight, and in his law doth meditate by day and eke by night, and he shall be like to a tree planted by water rivers, that in his season yields his fruit, and his leaf never withers. I apologize, David. So, and all he doth shall prosper well. The wicked are not so, but they are like unto the chaff which the wind drives to and fro. Therefore shall not ungodly men rise to stand in the doom, nor shall the sinners with just in their assembly come. For the righteous men the Lord acknowledge the way, but the way of ungodly men shall utterly decay. Okay, so that's how we start. That's how I'm going to start my. So this generally going to start. Hey, one psalm. I'm not going to give it too much. Psalms is like I said, of songs, and they were attributed to David, who was a King David, who, of course, has my name. I had a close affinity to as a child, So I read it a few times, and it's like he did some bad things. He was not a perfect person. He was nowhere near perfect. Methuselah, he was like awful things he did, but all kinds of horrible things he had. But it's a good tale. It's a good tale to tell. So in that, and he also, anyway, he was beloved. I'm not going to go into the detail. This is not a religious channel. Oops. Why is that not visual now? Why don't I see it? Okay, so right. Oh, that's why. Okay, we got to find it. Oh, okay. Okay, I had to. So there's a bunch of things coming on today. There we go. I gotta pop that up, and we gotta do this. It's not as easy as everything looks. It's easier. All right. There's a lot happening today. A lot. So there's a 3 o'clock Trump rally. So it's coming up. Not sure what happened. Okay, so it's basically a 3 o'clock Trump rally. The security, they say, is unbelievably tight. It's just unbelievable. Okay, I have to do all this again. Darn it! My feed somehow it got all messed. Oops, sorry. One more beep. Here it comes. Oh, right. So he's had a 3 o'clock ride. It's going to be so cold that basically they're going to have it inside the rotunda. There's also the big news that Trump made more money while most people were sleeping. Billions. I haven't looked at it today, but he has a meme, and this meme made so much money. This is awful. He made so much money, $32 billion it was at. Is that, you know what I mean, at one point? Huge money was made. Some people were in the, this one guy had 18 cents. 18 cents. Whoop. All right. He, 18 cents to, and it went to $32. So it was worth 18 cents. He bought a bunch of it and went to $32. Sorry. And so he made $150 million, this guy, this one individual. You know, he put a few bucks in, and just unbelievable. You know, this is fantastic. And like Frank Lutz said, Luntz, he's like one of the best of the guys that does polling and stuff like that. He basically said this is the first time that a president or incoming president has ever monetized, you know, voting for, like, you know, supporting someone. Now he's actually monetized it. Give me a second here. I just got to do this again. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. And okay. You got a better view for you? There you go. Melanie, okay, here we're actually into news now, okay? Sorry about all that. A little bit of kerfluffle here I had. So, let's put this in the middle for now. Yeah. I can even make it. So, Joly, the big news, the big breaking news is Melanie Joly. En France. She has a blurb to read. I'm going to go right to her site. Don't know why. Here we go. Oh, so that's a pinned one. Okay, so 1 hour ago. So this is breaking news. You won't get it anywhere else this fast, I guess. The Liberal Party of Canada must soon decide who is best suited to navigate the tumultuous times ahead. And listen, people, I don't see this as a big conspiracy. Mark Carney coming in. I do think they probably had a plan. Pending the people, right? Because, you know, politics are all about making plans, and then you have to bring it to the people, and that's really important. You got to bring it to the people, because sometimes the people just, for one reason or another, or sometimes a simple mistake, an individual in politics will not get elected. You know, and though they have all the resumes. So hey. So I imagine, why not? If honestly, when I seen that he was going to be running, it's like, ooh, he's a powerful force. Listen, no one in the world has a resume like his. That's why I'm like, ugh. But I'm hearing a lot. I'm scared about him doing similar policies as Trudeau. And people are like, well, we'll never trust the Liberals. But the thing is the Liberals, I don't think they lied. They actually said what they were going to do. Okay, he did say he's going to help making it working for the people and blah, blah, blah. But that's all bullshit. That doesn't mean anything. The policies, he said, they did. They were going green, and they were this and that. And the thing is the unintended consequences. Okay, I don't think they lied. I think they told us what they were going to do, and they had bad consequences. You know, there was so much for the environment that you couldn't get a pipeline done. They had to buy the train. See, that was when I was like, Trudeau is done, okay, right away in his first term. And they made all these silly policies. And I thought, okay, he's done. He just destroyed the oil industry in Alberta. And there's no way, right? But what did he do? Just to save his save his hide, his political hide, he did the move of he bought the that whatever it was called before, but he bought the pipeline from the government because they knew the company walked away. The company was like, no, thank you, we are gone, and they walked. So I was like, yep, that's it, he's done. You can't. He made first of all made these horrible, but they bought it. But they still kept these horrible policies that made it almost impossible. What does Premier Smith call it? Build nothing, nowhere, ever. Pipeline bill. Build nothing, nowhere, ever bill, or whatever she calls it, something like that. And that's kind of what it was. And so they saved at least the one pipeline for it to go out west to Tidewater, right? Oh my goodness gracious! I should not. Living leggings is one of the stretching is unbelievable. The basic thing he did was this: he bought that, so he saved the political hide. At least they had that, but no other pipelines are ever going to go through. So basically, from there, all the other permitting and all this stuff, they just got held up in this quagmire of bureaucracy and triple verifications and all these things like that. It was a horrible thing. And yeah, I'm fully aware that there's a operation against this site because they're trying to help it. This is the problem with happening in Canada and on this site. There's people who are chosen to be speaking and others who are not, like, in the fold. You get there's just a group. It's a small group, and AI is actually helping to weed this out. But it's happened everywhere. It's a form of cancel culture because these people are fully aware of the system. They all got booted from fact checking, and they can destroy it. They can, but the algorithm's gotten smarter by doing stupid things. There's all these little tricks on a channel, right? I had a troll yesterday, and it's about making things up on the side and then getting the person. It's really I've just been reading into it, and it's a form, and it's basically what it's doing is making certain people speak. There's a reason why Bollywood is rising, and we're not, because we're having chosen people and destroying others. We're not having a natural progression of artists come up right now. It's actually chosen, and so that means you get a mediocre person, right? You get someone who's mediocre. I'm not saying I'm anything but mediocre. It's just treason. They put things like that, so I read it. I don't know what they said. Good morning, like eating leftovers. Landlocked our oil. Yeah, they landlocked our oil. Good morning, Edmonton. Pipeline where? The pipeline, it was the transatlantic one. The trans pipeline, they called it the trans one. He bought that one. So Trudeau bought it. Yeah, he had to because the company walked away, and the government would have been done. There would have been no if they would have not bought that, there was no way the government would have done, because that was this huge pipeline, and it's like, oh God, they made it so hard for the company. The company's like, yeah, forget it, we're done. So they had to buy it. But there was other pipelines there's another Enbridge one. There was going to be two, and yeah, you know what I mean. The pipelines are a problem. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I honestly don't think, people voted them in. I don't agree with their silly policies all the time. Yeah, okay, Taylor. And that is the one that he sold to the. No. It's still owned by. Yeah, so there's that one, and the Enbridge one is the one that they want, because the permitting process. There should have been two. Right now, Japan is starving for energy. They actually built a natural gas plant out in BC. I don't know, let's say built it, they paid for it. It's billions, biggest deal, really big deal. But they need more oil over there. And Asia itself is starving for oil and energy. Not just energy, oil, because oil makes things too. So they need the bitumen and stuff like that to make things. So they need it big time, and Alberta has it. So there was another plan that was going to go through the Yukon. It's actually a little bit shorter. And basically was behind the Carney was behind him. See, I don't know. Carney, personally, Carney was a banker, but he was a part of the Remember Harper? The reason why he's such a force when he came in, to get back to the subject. Thank you, people. Carney was put in place at the Bank of Canada by Stephen Harper, who was the Conservatives' conservative, right? If you dispute that, well, whatever. So he was put in place by a conservative. It's the Bank of Canada. So, you know what I mean? Like, saying he's all this and that is kind of doesn't wash with me, personally. And he's never been in power. Yes, he advised. And, hey, the Conservatives, they have to throw mud. If they don't throw mud at him, then they're not doing their job. So you know what I mean? Carney is extremely frightening. See, that's at Mary Al. That's what they say. He's frightening. But I don't know. I need to see his policies. He was Bank of Canada. He definitely has some questionable photos. But it's the same photo Trump has. You know what I mean? It's like that Maxine lady, she got everywhere. She was ahead of Boots. So these things don't scare me. But what I want to see are his policies, and if he's electable. Like, he made a few mistakes on his first day. Like, he needs to look like a regular human being, even though he's obviously well richer than all of us. You know, when you're the Bank of United Kingdom, you're the Gov of United Kingdom, you get a good paycheck, okay? You just get a good paycheck. It's just, he's rich, obviously. He's disgusting. He's filthy rich, right? But you don't need to rub it in our noses in it, is my thinking, okay? But I want to see his policies. I'm not an emotional creature. A lot of people who are paying attention to politics, the one problem we have with new people that are getting into politics, they think it's all a psyop. Now, they're all bad, and they're all good. They're all people, right? In my opinion. So I give them a chance to give the policies forward. I don't think Trudeau's policy, I don't think they lied. I think they said what they were going to do, and they were horrible things to the economy. We got fucking pardon my French, Guilbeault saying no more roads. Like, literally, he's saying that, no more roads. He said it. That's what they believe. And he's one of the powers in there. It's like, oh, God. And that's why they got it. I would like to see someone not. Yeah, I agree with you. The WEF thing, it's scary, though it's not. It's made bigger than what it is, people. I don't believe it's as big as it is. And especially, they had a very big influence, but that's, I think, waned. I concur. I want to see policies. You don't have. You can be a blue collar guy and have horrible policies. That's the real crux of it. My opinion. I know nothing, right? He is a rich international stock market manipulation. He's all kinds of money. He's basically. Yeah, he has the thing. If he doesn't have blue collar policies, if his policies come out, I'm gonna be right there with you. But I believe in giving Canadians a chance first before I just think I'm going to destroy them. That's how you really do it. You honestly, wholeheartedly give them empathy by just hating someone by looking at them because of this and that, because of what someone else said is it's poor. That's poor-minded people. He's a Canadian. He is from Edmonton, from that area. He did make it. He did get rich. Yeah, he's got some ideas, but at least give him a chance for his policies. I don't know what they are, okay? But he does have experience better than most. The Liberal Party of Canada must soon... This is Melanie Joly. This is just breaking news. The Liberal Party of Canada must soon decide who is best suited to navigate the tumultuous times ahead. The Liberal Party of Canada must soon decide who is best suited to navigate the tumultuous times ahead. Both as a party and as Prime Minister, it is a crucial choice that will have big impact of our future. I am proud to endorse Mark Carney as the next leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. Mark brings an unparalleled economic experience, having served as Governor of Bank of Canada and the Bank of England during times of crisis. Governments of all stripes turned to Mark, including during the 2008 global economic crisis and Brexit. Yeah, he did a very good job on our. If anyone's aware, remember the 2008 crisis? Canada fared very, very well. He has like Harper or whatever how to do it. He has a clear vision for a better and greener future for all of us, and a clear plan to implement it. I'm not sure what that is. We're going to look at that today. Mark Carney is also best positioned to defeat Pierre Poilievre, who has shown no vision for Canada's future and won't stand up to the incoming U.S. administration. I trust Mark will defend Canada's interests with a strong Team Canada approach. For the weeks to come, I continue to dedicate all my energy to defending Canada's interests in the face of immediate threat of tariffs under President-elect Trump. As Foreign Affairs Minister, my focus is to protect Canada's economy, jobs, and values, and then a wonky signature. It does. I can see a little bit of Joly. It looks like Joly. As we all have funny signatures, right? We pull out the artist in ourselves when we aren't artists, right? So there we go. MP Joly is a powerhouse in Quebec. Like she has basically she's got the Quebec machine going, like, you know what I mean? So she was that's a big asset for Mark Carney, going forward. Now, Freeland, you remember what the Liberals are kind of doing right now. They're dividing and conquering us, right? So each individual person has their own individual area that they're going to try to win through, and then eventually they're going to heal their wounds, right? Because Liberals are more empathetic and they will heal their wounds. You probably won't go too far on each other, which probably won't be good. They have to attack each other, and they have to attack Trudeau to win the election. They have to attack Trudeau. If they don't, well, it's a guaranteed shoo-in for Trudeau. I mean, for Pierre. I believe Pierre's, he almost has it, and unless they have some goods on him. And one thing I found very odd, when Trump was asked about Pierre, he really shrugged like, I don't know. I don't think he was going to win. Maybe he'll win. He did not have a very high, very quickly, he didn't have a high opinion of Pierre. So I wonder what he knows. He's like, maybe he won't win anyway. And so I don't know why he would say that. So dismissive when he's conservative. So it was actually very shocking to me when asked about Pierre, because Pierre has such high numbers, and he just was very dismissive. I can pull the clip up if you all ask for it. It'll take me a minute. But it was definitely a jarring thing. I'm just sorry. Okay. Okay. TikTok is like, I love it. I was on TikTok for a while, and I found I don't dislike it. Right? That would be awful to say things like that. No disliking, but I found there was something fishy with it. I put on videos that were so I wanted to test it. So I put on a few videos that were like anti-West kind of ish, you know what I mean? And I put on ones pro-West, right? And slightly leaning. The ones that were pro-West, they got like 3 views. And the other ones were getting thousands. And like, well, wait a second here. This algorithm is choosing ones that make us look more poorly lit. And the other ones didn't get any views, like very small. And I just started my channel. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's when I stopped. I did a few, and I was like, there's a problem with it. And I spelt it wrong. What a yeah. And so anyway, there's something with it. It is okay. So there's a other site I go to, and it's Chinese, and it knows what I was searching on, and in 1 minute, the next thing I'm searching on, I'm getting advertisements on that. I really don't mind it because I don't do anything criminal, but it definitely is fully aware of what I'm doing, and it's following me on the internet, and they're advertising to me, from this site. So it's like, well, okay, thanks for advertising these coins and these in these wallets and stuff like that. That these wallets, as I was looking, but it's like I just looked at them for a second. I just looked at these wallets. Like, come on. It's basically now that's just one site, and hey, it doesn't bother me that much. They're advertising things I'm purchasing, or was not anymore. They did that, right? Well, TikTok is doing it on steroids. They are searching, digging, and remember, there's a lot of Americans who have money. I bet you there's Americans who have access to this data. Of course, they're not going to tell you. Of course, they're business people. I don't think it's CIA, but they're looking at your data, and I don't know what data they're going to get off of your phone from TikTok. I honestly don't know, like what video. And so much so, when it was demanded that they sell the algorithm, the machine behind it, they said, no, we will never sell the algorithm behind it. That there proves that they can't let that cat out of the bag. They're like, if we sell the algorithm, you'll know what we're doing, and that's no good to us. So that was the biggest thing. What to me is like, well, they just let it out. Obviously, they're spying. To me, it's a minor deal. It needs to be sold to an American company, and it won't be the same, right? They'll have to take the machine in the background out of it and put a new machine in it, the ear feed machine. So it won't be as good, or it won't be as addicting, or whatever the hell it is, right? The machine background behind it won't be. You know what I mean? They may make it better. I don't know, but that's the thing. Everyone is freaking out about TikTok. Let's see if there's any comments on that. Oh, okay. Joly has too much Joly juice. Harper spared us all in 2000. Yeah, Norm Nicholson. Harper did a good job in 2008 with the banks. But Mark Carney was the Bank of Canada. So he had a lot to do with the money and where it was going. Yeah, Niagara Falls is going to get lots, and it's going to be a storm of storms up north. Freeland speech looks like a liberal. Oh, yeah, they all were captured. The thing is the only people that you remember at WEF will work, but it's not going to work for long, people. I'm sorry. Because people just don't care about it, and they don't see them as much as a power. A lot of people that are university educated, the people that don't pay attention to politics all the time, conservative people, and happily, a lot more people are paying attention to politics that are blue collar. But there's a huge swath of people who don't pay attention to any politics. Mark Carney here. We're going to look up Carney. That don't pay attention to politics until like it's time to. And right now, it's time. They've shut down Parliament for months. People like the Parliament's done for months. Okay, here's Mark Carney. I'm going to go through all the campaigns. These liberals have to start putting like the boxing gloves on, and after they've like built their own people up, they have to debate each other on policies and give us policies, or else it's just going to be a glad handing WEF, or a WEF crowning, and the people that have the WEF will have it. They'll get the, I believe, the WEF argument will win if they don't put our policies in and debate each other. Like we all have to want to go, yeah, get them. That is how politics are right now. Like it or not, I don't like it all the way. Sometimes I get into it and, yeah, you crushed him with that word. You know what I mean? It's just what makes it interesting. Maybe they shake hands later, but they do it in front of it, and they make a good show. They need to make a show. If they don't, well. So, okay, from Richmond to Coquitlam, Abbotsford to Surrey and Vancouver. It was great to meet with so many British Columbians to talk about our campaign for change and how we can build the strongest economy in the G7 together. Okay, I don't know. So that's just glad handing, right? It's the beginning. He's just starting out. He's doing some glad handing. That's Harjit Sajjan is running with him. Wow, why is it so green? Where are they in BC? I guess. Eh? Look at it. It's green grass. We got ice here. Unless this was done a while ago. There's a psyop conspiracy theory for you. He made 125. That's it. That's all he's got. So he's not much today. Let's Joly. Gould. Let's see what Gould has to do. Gould is the youth. She's the youth department. Karina Gould. Oh, why am I not following her? I was. Oh, maybe I got booted. Maybe they booted me. Okay, so yesterday she did this one, and they say that she's the youth vote. She has a big youth people. She's got 46,000 followers. She got look at it's like almost 100. Oh, 900,000. It's almost 1 million views on her leadership thingy. TikTok is up in Canada, right? Apparently. So she's got a lot of views. Like a lot of people watched her video. Do you guys want to watch it again? I had it on yesterday. Okay, hello, Saxon of Riverstone. Good day. Harper appointed Carney, and then he sold all our gold. Did he? I'm not aware of any of that. Jose. No, I'm not. I'm healthier. Every day healthier. I do my prayers every day. I am eating better. And my newest fight is coffee. It's for my health. You know, as you get older, you hit your 40s. I'm like, why don't I feel like I was 20? Well, you know, you got to exercise every day. You got to pray for your mind. And you got to stop drinking 16 pots of coffee a day. Is anyone who's noticed I talk very fast because I drink a lot of coffee? It's nothing else. It's just coffee. I love coffee. Coffee. So I'm toning it down. Only on weekends is my new rule. So look up our gold reserve. Oh, okay, that's cool. I shall. The bringing of our house prices up is, to me, the biggest, the house pricing. Oh, Stockley. Alberta is so sick of the East. We will separate soon. Liberals are so sad. Like, Doug Ford is not a liberal, sorry, but Alberta will separate. Alberta's not separating. I don't even think that they had that guy who was doing the separate Alberta thing. That washed. It's done. It's over. You voted an NDP government in, so there's a lot of angry people in Alberta still. But the idea of the separate and the we're all that's gone. I'm sorry. Only 25% of Alberta's income right now is from the oil and gas industry. 25% and mining. That's only okay. That's huge. That's very important. But it's not like it was like a few years, like 10 years ago. It was like over 50%. Unbelievably, it went down and it has to do with other industries rising. It's not that the oil is going down. And remember, the oil is a cyclical business. It's been up at a decent level for a long time. But if OPEC decides to drop the prices, NDP is Fort Knox is not in Canada. That's in the States. One thing that Canadians and banks have done, because, hey, a bank is looking for a incentive to invest. They've invested more in the States than in Canada the last few years because the incentives have been there. What needs to happen is a new leadership that creates incentives. I don't believe in the stick. You can't stick a bank. You stick a bank, they'll stick it to you. Banks are they're just too powerful. I don't really want to go there too much. But if you incentivize, and it's not just banks, it's mutual funds and retirement funds and all these things. If you incentivize them by like, hey, we will tax you if you invest outside the country, but we won't tax you at all if you invest in this country. They need to incentivize investment within our country, from our country, and not just outside. It's been a horrible policy that's happened, and it's been the investment in Canada has dropped under Trudeau. But remember, he didn't get in. Coffee is a part of that because it excites you. It's a stimulant, right? So yeah, you can bounce around like a hopper, like Lager. Remember that Lager game? If you're old enough to remember Lager, the little frog across the street. It's definitely a big deal here we got going on. Another point, but I had investment in our country is the way that needs to be major incentivized. Trudeau, how he got in, it was people were tired of the conservative way of reigning. That was more than anything. He didn't come in on big policies except one policy. He got the youth by saying cannabis is legalized, okay? That was and it's not just the youth, the 50-year-olds that had been like, maybe not smoke it all the time or whatever, eat it, but they were like, I got a bad back or I got a bad whatever, and I don't, but if I have a bad this and that, well, why is it illegal? You're putting people in jail for something minor, and for a very minor thing. In Canada, 70% of Canadians, before it was legalized, 70% of Canadians had said at one time in their life they had used that product or whatever, that illegal substance at the time. 70%, 72% to be fact. And so when you have numbers like that, what the frick are we doing keeping it illegal? The numbers are way too high. That's a passing grade at a top tier university. And so basically they did all that stuff. And so Trudeau got in. No, they didn't. I don't think so. I think we're going to get. I think we went very. They think Trudeau, what he did. Okay, so Jason Smith. I think what happened is Trudeau won on legalizing cannabis, and so what he did, like other people do, once you do something that works, you do it again. Do it again. And they continued down that road until they basically legalized hard drugs and started handing them out in British Columbia. And that was when the curtain opened. We seen that the emperor has no clothes. It was completely stupid as we seen what was happening on the streets. And they're like, the government's giving people a package that says, it literally said it on the package, like black and white, what this drug was, and they were giving it to people. What, like tax money? That was when it was all over. It was like, oh my God. Because, and I believe that the left was like, yeah, well, we'll just continue down this road until it keeps working. Well, there are some people who can do it safer, and that was the end. That was which I believe it was, because it's what got them in is what got them out. Now, on top of it, the housing. Okay, inflation and housing. But it's to me it's home prices, because when 3/4 or a half of your money of especially of a generation is going into house, like especially people who have families or new families, they're most of their income is going into the home, to their mortgage. Well, then inflation is a big deal, right? It's like, I don't got any extra money because it's all going to the bank because of this home price is ridiculous. That is what's happened. I believe inflation wouldn't be a big of a deal if homes were still at the same prices or similar to the. If I was paying $50,000 a home, I'd pay it off in 3 years, and then I can handle the inflation. But you couldn't handle the inflation because the home pricing was ridiculous. At the same time, you couldn't build a home 7 years for a permit in BC, and at the same time, the price of a pickle has gone up. Like, oh my God, and then. And then, as Barry Cages says, you walk down East Hastings, and it's like, oh my, what is this people doing to my? And we have a closer world. I've never been to East Hastings, but I've seen it. I've seen what it looks like, and it isn't good. It's like awful, to be honest. It was a very horrible thing. I'm just There we go. I'll keep at least a picture. Oh, let's see what Sean Fraser has to say. So I believe they got in for sunny ways, and their policies basically have he hasn't. Oh, he's not running. Sean Fraser, I don't think he's running anymore. So December 18th was the last time. So I believe he's out of politics. I don't have anything negative and harsh to say about someone who served his country, whether you like it or not, honorably or not. So the left got in on. We were tired. I was tired of it, and I'm a conservative. Tired of Harper harping on the media and hating the media. I was like, just do a damn interview. I want to watch you. Right? And Trudeau was like, yeah, let's do interviews. And then he said something like, I respect China's basic dictatorship, and then I puked on the floor. Like, what the? Don't swear. What the fuck did you fucking say? Anyway, and then he spoke and he said that, and that was over for me. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'm gonna start. I remember, this is my third channel. I was anonymous before, but I still am, as much as I can. Okay, so 2 hours ago, Anita Anand. Apparently, she was really smart, and she had in business. So transport and trade, internal trade minister Anita Anand. I'm not saying I like her policies. These policies that they did, they kept on doing them until they hit the brick wall, and it's awful. You're giving away drugs. I can't afford a home, and inflation, the price of my bananas is making me scream. Okay, so it hurt everybody. It's time that Trudeau and your policies of your green thing go. I don't care. Cut the trees down. I want to have a home, and I want to afford my bananas. You know, that's it. You know, green this. And I personally am. I do agree. I don't want to say agree, because that would be wrong. I do. I like hydro. I like hydro over oil and gas. If we had the choice, I like going in that direction. But I do not agree with taxing the regular person. I believe in using technology and scientists to work our way out of making it less dirty, filthy world. As like I said, this is my story. I always say. Sorry if you've heard it before. In Halifax, I was there, and they were dumping affluent sewage, raw sewage, untreated raw sewage. You could see floaters. I don't know how people's crap was so bound together that it would last all the way into the toilet, all the way to the sewage. It wasn't a sewage treatment plant, holding tanks, and they would dump it, pump it right out directly into the ocean. You definitely seen toilet paper chunks and stuff like that floating tampon. It was like, what the? This is disgusting. And this is we're talking 20 years ago. Not even 20 years ago. 15 years. This is, you know what I mean, within our 40-year-old lifetime. And they're like, holy crap. They're not even treating it at all. They're not even separating it. They're not even filtering it a little bit. They're just dumping it straight in the ocean. Well, that's what we did. Every city and every town in Toronto and Alberta, everywhere, that's what we all did. We just dumped it straight in the water until we realized, it's not a good idea. And this, I believe, is the same thing with dumping exhaust and all that stuff. But hey, it's technology that stopped it. It's not taxing the person, taxing me. What do you mean? How am I going to stop? I got to still drive to work. Okay, there's my little bit of a tangent. I'm going to read a couple of your comments. I was disappointed Harper never built his promised Arctic base. Yes. Why? 1,000%. I'm with you there. Harper was for the Arctic. Brown spawners, yeah. Harper was all about the Arctic, and he didn't go. Well, maybe he didn't have time. I don't know, but Arctic bases was one of his things that he was going to open the Arctic, and he didn't do it. It didn't happen. I think he was about to do that, to be honest, but he didn't have a chance. It definitely. So you think, say, supply ended up in Alberta after we said they wouldn't? Yeah, well, yeah, I can't believe. Danielle Smith, I like her policy better of hey, treatment centers. Treatment centers. They have another thing. They send these people to farms. They go work. You have farms. I believe in I believe in prayer. It doesn't have to be the prayer that I do. You don't have to read Psalms, but prayer, work, physical. Look at your health and tape the person, and then show them. Look, like, tape them and question them, and they're all fidgety when they're just getting off of hard drugs. Usually, you know what I mean. They're a little bit neurotic, and people are unaware of it. You film them, especially, and you say, "Hey, look, this is what you are," and now we filmed you a month later, and look at how you're different now. And then people are aware. They're like, "Oh my gosh." They see it with their own eyes themselves. They get embarrassed by that, and then they see the other, like, you know what? Yes, okay. The problem is that it's only about a 30%, not even 30% success rate. And the reason is a lot of times is they need more time. These treatment centers, they're just 3 months in and out, boof, gone. Well, and then they're back on the drugs. They need a longer amount of time, and that's where work comes in. You don't pay them for farm work, right? So that work they're doing subsidizes their stay, right? That's a part of it. But they need to do physical. I think people need to do physical work when you're getting off of drugs to get your motor skills working. Motor skills and drugs it's a similar part of the brain. The Arctic was the first place Harper went after elected his first time. He realized the logistics were unmanageable. Yeah. America already has Greenland, to be honest. There's a huge base in it's the largest Arctic base. Yeah, they don't destroy. I don't agree that they don't destroy, they damage, and everything can be healed, just like a broken bone. But it takes time. It takes time. And you have to, and you're right though. They do, I'm with you. I just don't want to say it as extreme. What they need to do is heal, and physical training, weight training, all these things. These will help get people. The corridor, that the northern corridor, is a Northwest Passage. There is a big dealio. That one was a selling point, because if you can go from Europe to Asia, that's a huge market. And the icebreakers, and what we'll do, just like the Panama Canal, you charge the ships. You're like, oh yeah, you want to go through these waters? Well, we're going to have to charge you because we have to have icebreakers and stuff like that, and these things, right? So it's that was. The problem is they couldn't have a navigable place with the amount of icebreaker. Yes, the Northwest Passage. Thank you. I'm typing at the same time. They didn't have enough icebreakers to keep it open long enough to make it feasible. Now I think it's going to be all over now, because they're finding there's spy subs in that area. I don't know, but China was going to be the big investor in that, and we were going to use that, but that kind of got brain damage. Yeah, brain damage is healable. They're finding that. They thought so, it wasn't, but that's totally changed now. There's no brain damage that isn't healable. It's what happens is it uses, sometimes if you have a damage, it'll use another part of your brain, and it'll use that. All healable. There's nothing. It just takes time. The problem is it takes time. We have two conversation was, and you're right. Logistics was the big problem. They needed several bases, and you have to use the military. Because there's no one else affordable. You couldn't use civilians. You'd have to pay them too much to go up there. A military member, they don't get a vote. They're like, you're like, hey, Private Watkins, you're going to the Arctic. And they're like, no, okay, you're going to the Arctic. They pack your bags. No, shut up. I told you where you're going. So you'd have to use the military, at least at first, until it gets established. As they built a lot of roads, as the engineers built the roads and all this stuff. So it'd have to be bases to set up communities, to set up the logistics. And NORAD is a part of it. NORAD is about to begin. You don't have brain damage, Scott. It's okay. Just bad thinking. One thing that destroys the brain, they say, is really hard on your brain, is negative thoughts. So once you get a negative thought going too long, it's actually harmful to you. It's awful. It's crazy. Unbelievable. So stay a little happier. Oh, excuse me. Gesundheit. You got to hit your side. Oh, yeah. See? No sneeze. Yeah, didn't work. Oh, it did work. The logistics is a big deal. That's 100% the Northwest Passage. But that's opening up. They said that there's such huge oil reserves up in the Arctic. It's unbelievable. So the way through it forward is through the resource and military at the same time, using the military and opening the resources to open up. Russia has Vladivostok, and many other major cities on their northern coast. Yeah, they do. The Russians are built, and actually under Putin, Putin did a major remanning northern bases. I did a video on it. He did a lot of bases that they opened up. We also should be doing that. It should be a pivot to the Arctic. The Arctic pivot. Greenland is already basically American. It's American thing. There's a huge base, huge base. I'm going to Google it for you in a second here. So, sorry, I sniffed in here. I'm not sure how big the base is, but someone told me, says you wouldn't believe how big. They went there. They came back and like, you wouldn't believe. He's like, there's this long hallway, and you just keep walking and walking. He's like, you won't believe how big this base is. And so that's probably why, Trump is saying, hey, why don't we just take over the place? Denmark is a very tiny country. All right, let's see. Okay, U.S. military base. Pituffik Air Base in Greenland, Northwest. Greenland is crucial for the U.S. military and ballistics early warning system since the shortest route from Europe. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's also a space base. It's Air Force and space. How many soldiers are in Greenland? And it says it's secret. Camp Century. Okay, maybe there isn't many people. It says only 200 people. 200 people in Greenland. So I guess I was wrong. I guess the guy must have lied to me. It's just 200 people in that base. It's an Air Force base. U.S. Air Force Base in Greenland gets new name. It's only 200 people. Not a big deal. Very small base. So, yeah, that's all it is. I honestly thought it was huge. But, hey, a guy I met in passing, you lied to me. Or maybe it's large, maybe it's a large infrastructure size. I don't know. The airfield's 3,000-meter runway. Okay, so yeah, it can handle 3,000 U.S. and international flights. Okay, so no, that's it. It can handle a lot. So it's big. It doesn't have a lot of people, though, apparently. Okay, so he probably didn't lie. It isn't many people, but it can handle. It's way up there, like way up there. It's like in the upper third part on the left, on the west side of Greenland. It used to be called the Thule Air Base, if anyone knows what Thule is. The oil is the reason why Trudeau is doing nothing in there. There is major oil deposits in the Arctic, and that would be it's very expensive. The one problem, Canada, we don't have icebreakers, and we're not building any. Trudeau tried to get in with the icebreaker deal with Trump, and Trump basically was like, no. Waters? Those are big deals. If they're using the water, those are like huge organizations. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop it. Our Coast Guard. Okay, so Anita Anand, Transport International Trade Minister Anita Anand says Canada is ready to take on the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and levy countermeasures immediately, and the incoming Commander-in-Chief follows through with his threat. If he follows through with his threat. Oh, no, she's not French. Threat. So she said we got So she's okay. So she's very Democratic leaning. Very, very Democratic leading. Let's see what Trudeau has to say today. I don't think much because, oh my gosh, he has 6.6 million followers. Wow. 20 hours ago, our free trade agreement with the United States means more jobs, more health workers, both sides of the border. It's a win-win deal. We are fighting to keep it going. All right. Okay, Anand, Gould. Oh, Freeland. Let's see what Freeland has on offer today, the Liberal Lace. I'm going to see if I can get the, I don't know if it'll be available, but the Trump rally. I don't know if I can do it because of copyright. Oh, okay. We got Melissa Lanceman. Carbon tax Castilla voted to back Trudeau's carbon tax 43 times. As finance minister, she hiked the carbon tax 167%, and she quadrupled it to 61 cents. Oh my gosh, a leader. Carbon tax Castilla is just like Justin. That's her thing. 19 people viewed it. Oh, it's 34 seconds ago. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. But she wasn't the leader. At least 10 protesters have interrupted Castilla Freeland's leadership launch speech, unhappy with the Trudeau government's response in the war in Gaza. There we go. This person, very unhappy. Very unhappy. Who are these? Look at these little people. They don't look like normal protesters. Usually they're a little bit more radical looking. They have a vest on. I don't know what's worse. A few people are watching Freeland's launch, or it was disrupted by protesters. Okay. I didn't. That wasn't in the news. She has 357,000 followers. Okay, so she had her thing, 1 million views. So she is leading Gould by a little bit by how many people watched her thing. I think Freeland is good to be in the race, and she'll be a fighter in the debate. But will she win? We'll see. We're gonna see. Oh yeah, she's running to be next leader. Tune in live. Castilla Freeland's lead. Oh, okay. So the leadership launch just happened, and a protester, as you can see, this protester. This is from Ahmad Abayoumi. Breaking, at least 10 protesters have interrupted Castilla Freeland's leadership launch. Unhappy with the Trudeau's government's response to the war in Gaza. Do you know that why they are angry? Can you address that? One says. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's basically a. There you go. There's the protester. I don't know what she said. I have no idea what she said. Anyone knows? No one knows. Okay, so this just happened. A few people at her launch. So she had some reporters. She had some thing. Oh, look, there's Housefather is in her camp. He's the Jewish connection. I liked his speech in the House of Commons. He did some rhyming fun. I enjoy he's pleasant. He seems. But I'm surprised that he goes for him. This other individual. Oh, and the health minister. Health ministers on her camp. Remember, they have to have some people. Okay, Pierre. They have to have, to have a race. They should break and divide, and then it'll get back together. It's not like it's carbon tax. Castilla is now pretending she is against a tax she voted for 43 times. When you have a leader, especially when you had leader as Trudeau, your leader tells you what to do. Was Pierre think that he's going to have people vote on their conscience? No, he's not going to let them vote on their conscience. He's not going to let them vote on their conscience on gay rights. You know what I mean? Because you know what'll happen. The party will never get elected again. So that's kind of a thing. I think that's a weak argument. I'm not trying to trash Pierre. I'm just saying it's a weak argument. Get a better argument. That's what I'm saying. Because she's saying under the Prime Minister's office, PMO, they had to fall in line or get kicked out of the party. As Trudeau's Prime Minister, she even hiked the carbon tax. Yes, she did. How much sway? Everyone even said it, that the Prime Minister, the PMO, was the one running the show, and that was the big problem, okay? That's A versus Pierre. Oh, yeah, Pierre's got it. Pierre's a really good speaker, and he's interesting to watch, just like Justin. Yeah. There's some protesters. Hello. Nice red hair. Oh, pro-Palestinian protesters. They're very pro-Palestinian. Oh, that's it. There's another one. Hello. Nice hat. They all got masks on, I guess because they don't want to be identified. I understand that. And I hope that they just don't want to be totally identified and protest. It makes for good news. Okay, what do you guys got to say here? We're going to look at a couple more. These people are evil. I don't think so. I personally don't think. I think they're just people. The real evil ones are not on camera. These are just their spokesmen. That's my opinion. I remember when the GST was a temporary tax. Oh, yeah. I remember that the income tax was temporary. Remember, the income tax was put in during the wars, right? Temporary tax. Now it's 40%. 40% of your income is going into and it keeps increasing. Okay, I don't understand why people are. There is the last finance minister. He wasn't fired. He resigned after he was like, "Oh, I have a cottage and here. Oh, I have investments in here," and he got caught a little. I don't want to go against him too hard because he was retired out of politics, and I have a firm belief is you do the not personal attacks, the political attacks on a person until the day they get out of politics, and then all bets, not that I gamble, all attacks on that person are off. They served honorably as long as they didn't get caught for treason or anything major. My opinion is like, hey, they served at least honorably to the people that voted them in. Doesn't need to be me. And I believe that, 66%. I believe that, I respect the voter. I don't necessarily need to respect the politician, but I respect Canadians. And the Canadian voted them in, right? And that's the thing. That's the crux of it to me. It's like, God, I do not like what that politician's policies. But I respect that Canadians voted them in. So if I say that person isn't my prime minister, well, what I'm saying is to all of those Canadians is your opinion is not valid. Well, that's not democracy, my fine furry friends. Democracy is respecting the people you don't agree with. Communism or dictatorships is the people that say he's not my president. No, he is. I got to respect that the person who I disagree with, and that's what makes our democracies good, in my opinion here. So that's my, and everyone doesn't like it. That doesn't mean that I don't make good zingers and this and that. When they start talking policies, come on, everyone watch my channel. I'll put up a zinger and I'll get a good joke on it and anything that's there. But I have to respect the fact that they got elected by the people, right? When Trudeau was elected, he was worth $7 million. Today, he's worth lots more than that. How that happened? If you were not evil, same story for. I don't know what he's worth now. The guy talking, did he forget all about the inclusion that we are still waiting for names? See, that's it. No, I'm the guy talking. And who did more talk? Remember, John Doe, the Conservatives were the ones who dropped. This is when I was 100,000% behind Conservatives, but as soon as they dropped foreign interference in their questions every day, that's when I was like, okay, My bets are off of this camp. I cannot 1,000% support a party. Remember, the Conservative Party is the party of law, of order, law and order. And when the party of law and order, I thought they would be in my side against this foreign interference. But what did they do? They took a political thing. They decided, this is a political thing, we're not going to do foreign interference. They sent it off to a one MP. Pierre wouldn't even talk about it in the House of Commons, about this foreign interference, these 11 individuals. And that's when I'm like, okay, well, they're all kind of in the same camp here. If they're not going to talk about this foreign interference, what happened with the Winnipeg lab, all these things got pushed aside. And since they did it, he was right. I'll tell him, I can say this, he was right to drop it because their polls went up pretty high. Because who do you think who had money, had interest? A lot of people were like, oh, my God, we don't like this talk. And as soon as they stopped that talk, their support went up. So he was politically correct to drop it, I guess. But to me, it's like you didn't do these 11 people you're not going to discuss, you're not going to bring it up in the House of Commons. That was the day I'm like, well, I can't be 100,000% in your camp. I have to look at you all now, unfortunately. If they bring it back up and they start doing political foreign interference, man, there's 11 traitors, and they're like, well, we're not going to ask questions about it. Yeah, who are they hiding from? What do you think? The money. Where's the money? Money coming from? We know this. Foreign interference is happening. We do it. They do it. And in countries, to me, like India is doing it, I got no problem with it. I got no problem that India does it. When the rich drop, they got to get off of it. And as India has become more powerful, they're doing it more to us. So I'm not like all up in arms that India is doing it. Now we have to fight back against it because there's been a growing trend. Not from the Indias of the world. We can use India as a play example because they're our friends, ally. But there's other nations out there that are doing it very nefariously. And that it's part and parcel of the same thing. And when they dropped that, I was like, okay, my personal opinion is the party of law and order needs to be the party of law and order. And WEF is another one. I concur. They are an interference. It's not just the CCP that are doing it. It's not just Russia that's doing foreign interference. All of us are doing it. And we do it to other countries. What needs to happen is because it's become a problem, it has to be addressed. And as Trudeau's brother, when he did a interview, or he was in committee, he said into the committee, he says, "This is so big. It's unbelievably big. Like we can't deal with this." He says, "This is like in the trillions of foreign interference." Basically, he was like, "We'll throw our hands up." And then this was like the clip of clips. MP Brassard, a conservative Brassard who was the chair, he said, "Well, we have to work day and night to fix it. That's it." Bam! And that was it. He's like, "Yeah, I don't care." And that was, to me, the Law and Order Party spoke. He says, "I don't care how big this mountain is. We have to chip away at it." That's the bottom line. And that's where they were. And then one day, all of a sudden, they decided, because politically it was harming them, they're like, well, we better not talk about this. Well, it's not like it went away. I think, okay, section of Riverstone, most people kind of, like a libertarian, we want less government, lower taxes. Yeah. Trump is 3 o'clock. Yeah, foreign interference. Trump's foreign interference is no. It's America does interference with us because we're so closely aligned, and that is the only country that really can do it. Because we got so much of our investment in them, and they got so much of their investment in us. We're always going to be different countries, in my opinion. I hope, but we're closely tied, and the foreign interference with America is just. When the elephant sneezes, the crickets, they got to jump. And we're the crickets, okay? So that nothing, feeding us crickets. And that's the big, that's to me is the only exception. American interference. And he's not doing major interference. He's just doing what he's saying, And the guy is soft. This guy is soft. John Doe. Thanks for trolling. This guy is soft. You're soft. This guy talking, did he forget all about the Chinese inclusion that we're still waiting for the name? Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever, John. John D. Or Doe. John Doe. You're soft. Trump's a businessman. Yes, he is a businessman. So basically, what do they have going on? They have to deal with this foreign interference. Remember, like, look at the foreign interference file. Like, Trudeau had, like, his childhood babysitter look into it. Yeah, Trump is saying that listen, he's saying work on our border. That's all, I believe. And hey, we have to. It's our border with the largest nation in the world. Everyone's looking at David Chappelle's. I can't put it on for copyright, but David Chappelle's David Chappelle's Saturday Night Live speech, where he pleaded with Trump to hear the people. Actually, it was really good. I recommend you look at it. I'm not going to put it on. Maybe it isn't copyright, but I don't know. 15 minutes ago, Pierre Pipi, Liberal minister, admits Canadians don't trust her party. Okay, we can put this on.
We've gotten further away from the grassroots and talking about the things that Canadians care about. And I'll be very honest with you, Rosie, Canadians don't trust the Liberal Party in Canada right now. And I think that's because over the past couple of years in particular, we've gotten
this is when? This is like a few years ago.
With you, Rosie, Canadians don't trust the Liberal Party in Canada right now. And I think that's because over the past couple of years in particular, we've gotten further away from the grassroots and talking about the things that Canadians care about. And I'll be very honest with you, Rosie, Canadians don't trust.
Okay, so she's saying, Liberal minister. Oops, sorry, I got to turn down the volume. Not like paying our members. There is a little monopoly here on parties taking the bags of money, controlling the distribution of fuel in Ontario. Really? I never heard anything about that, Big D. That's, to me, is news. It's not being hit in the media, right? You know? Few go as far as China goes. Watched it firsthand at Edmonton as they shut down my candidate, an Asian gentleman. He simply disappeared. Yeah, they're doing it. This is the thing is at first it's like, okay, we do it to them, or we try to. We're not doing it very successfully at all in the CCP. We have no influence over the CCP anymore. Like Xi Jinping is, everyone is scared of Xi Jinping. Yeah, it is an older clip. It has to be an older clip, but it's made to look like it was new. You can tell because she looks younger. But everyone's scared of Xi Jinping right now, and I mean everyone is like I read a lot. I haven't been lately because I kind of was getting too worried, and I want to see what Trump does. So I had to like pull back from these think tank groups. They're like international think tank groups. That's how I'll call them, okay? And they were all saying the same thing. Xi Jinping is in his office, and no one, not even people in China, the presidents and all the king's horses and all the king's men have actually no one's talking to him, and he's not talking to anybody. He issues statements out of his office like as if he's not even a person anymore. Like it's like they don't have nothing. They got none of his speaking engagements. They got nothing. They don't know what the hell he's thinking. They don't know who he's talking to. They don't know anything what's going on. Now Xi Jinping, he's he's our economic adversary, right? And so but with respect to him, China had a lot of corruption, and he got in and he did a lot of house cleaning on the corruption. He cleaned up corruption. He is a stoic type person. You know what I mean? At least, or maybe not, but he's a hardworking individual, lived in a cave. You know what I mean? Like these admirable leadership qualities he has. But what happened is especially what happens become a leader when no one knows who they're talking to. That's when bad. You know what I mean? That's when people get scared. When they're not talking to anybody, he's not doing speeches. We don't know what's happening, and that's a scared thing. Trump said he's going to go to China. Trump, he says, he said, I would like to go to China. So he basically didn't invite himself. He put the feeler out there. I think it needs to happen because all of what I've been reading is no one knows. Maybe he's not doing anything bad. He's just just decided to keep a closer tight knit, but that's scaring a lot of people. Trump, I hope he goes there. I hope we all go to Mars together, and colonize Mars. I think that's, there's no people there. It's not like it's a bad thing. At least I hope there's no people. Well, who knows? Who knows what the heck's there? But that's, to me, is I see, just like, the space race was like a kind of way that it was a rivalry that wasn't, well, I guess it was kind of start of the Cold War, but it was basically a nicer way. And I think that this, instead of that, us all going, that's, to me, my opinion. I know nothing, but I don't want to see World War III. It's just not, I don't, I'm not impressed with that. But I can't stress this enough, that all of the think tanks are scared because they don't know what the hell he's thinking. Trump needs to go there. Trump wants to go there. Trump wants to make a deal. That would be great. There's nothing. That's just great. Okay, so that has to be an older clip. I don't know, because she looks younger. Her hair is a different color than it was in the thing. I don't really honestly know. Okay, it doesn't say the clip. It does say on the bottom of the clip, source January 19th, 25. So maybe it is new. Maybe she dyed her hair. I honestly, I can't tell you. But she is kind of right that people are, they need to start dealing with the issues that people care about. Home prices. That's the number one. All they're going to do is fix the home price deal, and that's it. It's not, okay, it's like $100 billion problem, but if you're in power, it's $100 billion is just a signature away. Carbon. Okay, this is another Pierre. 4 hours ago, Pierre is. Since Pierre has such a good following, he needs to be really on it. If he's not on it, he's going to be washed away in the liberal leadership noise. He's going to be just not seen, and not being seen in politics is not good. Okay, this one says June 17th, 2022. So I think this is source January. So this is today. She must have dyed her hair since the last, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just, I don't want to go into her looks. I'm just trying to think. So it looks like she did an interview with Rosie today. So you can go to CBC to watch that. Carbon tax Christie is now pretending she is against the tax she voted for 4 to 3 times. As Trudeau finance minister, she even hiked the carbon tax by 167%. She's just like Justin. Ban hard drugs, shut down drug dens. Yeah. Yeah. I personally, let's fund treatment and recovery to bring our loved ones home drug-free. This is really where I believe in the conservative way. I believe in prayer. It doesn't have to be, obviously not just Roman Catholic or the three big, any faith, I don't care. But prayer is important because it's a reflecting thing. It really helps, at least for me. Prayer, time. You need more time. It can't just be 3 months and get the hell out of here. No, they need enough time to get through it. And tough love sometimes. So physical training, as someone said, if there's damage done, you can bring your brain back by working your motor skills again. So I'm really on board. I have to like that one. I'm really on board with a conservative way of treatment plans. I don't want to see people wiped out on drugs and wiped out of the economy. That's just an awful way for them to go. There's other ways. Oh, that looks like some good rice. Celebrating our share about 19 hours ago. See, he's listening, he's hearing it, he is on it, he's working his butts off. It's actually campaign season. I said it on my comments. It's campaign season, and Pierre is campaigning because it's campaign season. Smart. Celebrating our shared values and faith, family, and freedom with patriotic Canadians in Scarborough. Happy Thai Pongal. And bringing home the harvest. That's nice. There's a little rooster on there, golden rooster. That looks like saffron rice. Nom, 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 nom. I like saffron rice. Raquel Danchot. Let's see what she has to say. Anything? Okay, everyone's saying the same thing. 43 times. Christia Freeland. Basically, them going after Freeland is going to, I think Carney is going to win it. The problem was, this is a good one. Pierre has the Trudeau with the mask of Carney. That's actually funny. That's good. That makes me laugh. Trudeau, okay, and anyone looks at the one footage, Pierre and Mark Carney did like a trial balloon run a year or so ago, or maybe more than a year ago now, and in committee. And Pierre just demolished him. Like he had him every which way. He just did his best, finest work on Carney in a political way. It was all, half of it was BS, throwing mud at him and seeing what sticks. But he had him like he just, Carney, you could tell, was not used to getting that type of verbal lashings, and he wasn't prepared. He was not prepared for it. He needs practice. He needs to talk to people like, Hungarians people, how we talk to each other. All over you, destroy you, or like the 1% type of people, how they're like really good at picking people apart. I think, okay, we're never going to Mars? I think we're going to Mars. I think so. Nobody travels to Mars. It's a luminary. I don't concur with you there, but that's okay. Build houses, bury cases, build. That's it. That's all they got to do is build houses. It's a very small. It's actually so simple. It is such a simple thing. Build houses. But what the Liberals' plan thus far has been, and this is why they're all wrong. Liberals give money to rich people. They gave money to not necessarily rich. They gave money to the educated. Universal basic income is better than they've proven it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. Then OW. OW, it's more. They put more money into the bureaucracy than they actually put into giving the money to the people. And what happens is I'm going to go on this tangent first. What happens was they did the study in Gimli, Manitoba. Go look at that study. They found that these people that were going to the doctor and they were unhealthy and there was all these other issues. Once they just gave them universal basic income and then they sicked the social services on them, like, okay, you got a problem here, and they sicked that on them instead of putting it onto the bureaucracy of paperwork. It actually lowered the amount of money Gimli was spending. In this place in Manitoba was spending on social services. It actually lowered it. They weren't expecting that. They actually did not expect it. And these were the people that were for it. They were like, oh, it actually lowered things. Because the stress of not having money and this and that, and the way the system is now is very bureaucratic. And it doesn't work. This universal income is just like, okay, here it is, and now we're gonna send you jobs. Well, here's a company that's hiring, and we're going to email it to you. Well, it wasn't even emailed then. And it actually lowered the amount of that area. And that was, to me, I read the study. I took the time. I honestly was against it. I thought it was stupid. And then I read the study, and I was like, oh, well, the proof is in the studies. They did a study on it, and it actually lowered. No one wants to be on it. And if you take away from the bureaucratic mess, because some people on social services are like, I don't want to say getting rich, but making very good, and others make very little because it's a bureaucratic system. The more you work at it, the more money you can get out of that system. It's unbelievable. This way is you go there, you show your ID. You have to have ID. You show your ID. They're like, here it is. Here's whatever money, and then give us all of your information, and we're going to start sending you jobs. We're going to start sending you drug tests. We're going to make sure you're not on drugs. We're going to make sure you're not all of these other things. It won't be that way. UBI will be a negative in the end. I personally, we can all beg to differ on that. I thought exactly it was going to be awful, but the studies have proven. Remember, there's always going to be a certain percentage of people that aren't finding work unless there's lots of work. Remember, in the 50s, they didn't need these social nets because there was good luck not working. The companies would catch you and make you work. You wouldn't be able not to work. It was very difficult not to work because there was so much work. There's nothing better than a businessman to get someone to work. No one is better because they will do things, malicious things, to get that person to work for them if they need the labor. That's my opinion. The best way is to have too many jobs, and not just the right amount of jobs. Too many jobs, not enough people. That's the best. So the companies fight each other. That's my opinion, but that's not happening. That's the number one way out. Trump may do it. Studies of non-UBI areas when you fully implement. They fully implemented it in Gimli. I'm telling you, they did the full study, and they didn't do it a little bit. It was huge. And you don't need to agree with me. It's not like It's not like it's. See, what thing is people are saying is, it's not like they're not doing it now. They're already doing it. There already is a social net, and the reason, and you know why they made welfare? Welfare was for the rich. It wasn't for the poor. What was happening in the recession back in the start in the States? Poor people couldn't eat, so they would go rob rich people. Right? They're like, well, if there's no money for me, and these are people that didn't want to do crimes, and with an I, no Ly. Manitoba. Just say Manitoba thing. So what was happening is there was a lot of thieving going on, and the crime rate was going. So once the economy was really hard, there was a lot of thieves. So they're like, how do we stop all these people from robbing us? That's who started the social net. They were like, we don't want to be these. There's too many thieves. Well, how do we lower the amount of thieves? They're like, well, let's give them a little bit of money. Giving them a little bit of tax money is cheaper on us than all of this crime, and it worked. It actually started to create a social net. And that was the beginning. Even Google, I did all my research on it. I'm like, oh, wow. It was the rich who wanted it. The rich who pushed it because they were tired of getting robbed. No, it was in Manitoba, sir. Manitoba, Gimli. Gimli, Gimli, I believe. I can pull up the study. I can pull it up if you're really. It was done a while ago, so it would have to probably be done again. Just like they do everything. They do studies 20 years later, and they don't implement. They should have implemented it. I'll have to Google it for you. It was done before the internet age. Yeah, I think it was Gimli. Gimli, which is such a weird name. Manitoba. I know it was Manitoba, northern Manitoba. Okay, Mincome. Scared me. We got a trawler. Yeah, I got doxxed. It's nice. Yeah. Sorry. So Mincome, Manitoba Basic Annual Income Experiment, was a Canadian Guaranteed Annual Income (GAI) social experiment conducted in Manitoba in the 70s. The project was funded jointly in the Manitoba provincial government and the Canadian federal government under Pierre. Under Pierre. It was launched in the news in February 27, 1974 under the NDP. The experiment consisted of randomized controlled trial through Winnipeg and Dauphin, Manitoba, which is way up north. Dauphin's a beautiful area, actually. It's just amazing. I'm so impressed with Manitoba. It doesn't get the media that it should. It's a cheap place to live. It's just a wholesome place. It's very Canadian. I love it. There's a lot of Native Americans there. There's a lot of lakes. So it's got a good blend. I love it. I have nothing bad to say about that province. They have their NDP right now. Okay, so it was done such a long time ago. The federal grant established an Institute for Social and Economic Research at the University of Manitoba. Post-Mincome research. Okay, this is what I was reading, was the post-Mincome research. In the 80s, they published their results in a series of papers and monographs. That's what I was reading. The results showed a small impact of labor markets, with working hours dropping 1% for men, 3% for married women, and 5% for unmarried people.
The largest impact appeared to be changes in family composition, not the experiment treatments, as preschool children increased the labor supply of husbands and reduced the labor supply of wives of roughly the same modest amount. Even these decreases in hours worked may have seen to be an offset by the opportunity cost of more time for family and education. However, some have argued that these drops may be artificially low because part of the business. Okay, economists. There's a couple of economists analyzed the labor supply responses and discovered that they were generally smaller than those estimated for similar experiments in the U.S. So basically, there you go. You can Google it all. There's a lot into it. There's so much more into it. You're right, 100%. Edmund Thunder. I can't argue. I want to argue with you, but it needs to be redone again. And there was another one. That this isn't the whole one. There's more to it. I'm not going to go into it because it's not going to happen. What I believe is the best way. To me, it's not the answer. That's a backstop. I don't like the system as it is. I think it costs too much money bureaucratically, because they're trying to decipher how much exact dollar. No, come on. They're like, what type of food do you eat? And if you lie, you're going to get more food. Like, what? Come on, this is baloney. I believe that they should be. There was a workfare program that was going on that you get a job. They give you a job. That to me is the best system. But you have to have more work. More work. Okay, so I think we're almost at the end of the line. In 20 minutes or so. Oh, wait a second here. 20 minutes or so, we're going to get the Trump rally. It's starting well, it won't be starting for a while, but it'll be 3:15, right? So let's see if anyone has spoken today. Okay, we got Gould. Gould launched her bid today. And Chrystia Freeland. Okay, I'm going to put on Chrystia Freeland's, okay? And that'll be kind of it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Subin Sung, and
young person.
Thank you very much.
Et bonjour.
Okay. All right, here's the protesters.
So
Okay, I got it right lined up. All right. Yeah, here's her speech, her entry. Just getting it up. Don't worry, people.
merci.
Thank you very much.
Et bonjour.
Hello.
chers amis.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello, liberal friends.
Thank you so much, Subin, mon cher Stéphane.
Okay.
The big Mark, for your kind words.
Just hold on.
And
She's
thanks
gonna
so
the
much
protesters.
to all of my caucus colleagues who are joining us here in person and virtually. And to my children, Halia and Ivan, дуже дякую. I love you guys so much, and I'm really grateful to you. A person who is doing my kind of job, and maybe all of us, like we sometimes worry that our kids get mad at us for the work we do, so that was very nice to hear. I am so...
I don't know what this is. This. Yeah, politicians don't normally get a big showing. Pierre is different. He's a good entertainer. Of course is the case. It matters who votes, though. And 30% of the people of the population, you know what I mean, are liberal. Right? I just don't count them out because of these small things. What is it? Valid points, Hallwell. Protesters, they Freeland them out.
Thank you. I am
That
so
wasn't that
glad
bad,
to be
actually.
here at
Wasn't
the
that
St.
big a deal.
Albans Boys and Girls Club today.
Well, there goes another one. There goes another one. The Duke. Who should be in jail? Why? Me? Come on. Oh, this protester doesn't want to go. This protester, they're having a tougher time.
So, thanks again. I think we have shown that when we are a team, we can do anything.
Actually, to be honest, that was a good way of handling it. Remember how Trudeau did it? Yeah, they're paid agitators.
So grateful to be here.
Trudeau like mocked them, and they're like, "But we're here for our children's water."
At the St. Albans Girls and Boys Club. This is a really special place in our community, and it's a really special place for me. In my office in Ottawa, I have a beautiful painting of a Canadian flag.
Oh, we got another one! Another one! Oh, house father's even getting involved. Holy.
I guess some people are really scared of Canada fighting back. I guess someone really, I guess.
Holy schmoly, another one. That's a lot. So they said there's 10. Wow, she can't even get her speech out. It's kind of like, wow. Here goes another one. Jean-Pierre Le Duc. It's, wow. There was quite a bit of them.
Look, we are not going to let anyone disrupt our democracy. We definitely believe in and we need a diversity of views in our country. Now is the moment to launch a political campaign. Now is the moment. Now is the moment to stand up and fight for Canada. For our great and amazing, beautiful country, our country that needs us to be united, that needs every single person and every single supporter across the country. Protest is important, and we are a free country. We're a free country, and one of the great things about our country is that people are free to express dissenting points of view. But what is not okay, what is not okay is to get in the way of others expressing their point of view and putting forward their position. That is not what democracy means. That is not okay. And that does not make Canada strong. There are a lot of people in this room who want to hear what I have to say. And a lot of people across the country too. And I want to tell you all, I am not going to let anyone stop me from working with you. From talking with you. And from talking about how we together are going to stand up for our amazing country. stop us, are we? No! And I think we know the harder they try to stop us, the more it means that people are afraid of us, right? The harder they try to drown out our voices, okay, so I want to hear it. Are we going to let anyone stop us? No! Are we going to let anyone drown out our voices? No! Are we going to let anyone stop us for fighting for Canada? No! And do we know that the harder they try to stop us, the more they are afraid of someone who's going to stand up for our country? People who want to stop us, but we're not going to let them. Okay, so I think we should start by being respectful to the place we are. We are here in the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club, and it is an amazing place in our community, in this neighborhood. This is such a great place for kids, and the kids here, they painted a flag for me. A Canadian flag. I keep it in my office in Ottawa. And I keep it there to remind me of one really important thing. To remind me of the people I work for. To remind me that my job, to remind me come on, let's be respectful of democracy, and let's be respectful of the kids at this Boys and Girls Club. This is not okay. It is not okay to disrupt Canadian democracy. And I want to tell everyone, I am not afraid, and I'm not going to back down. And no one in this room is going to back down, and no one who stands with us across the country is going to back down. Canadians are just not going to put up with it. You can have a different point of view, but you cannot stop others from speaking, and you cannot stop our democracy. Okay? Who is going to interrupt saying a couple of nice things about the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club where we are right now? I mean, really, who is going to stop us from saying a few words about the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? Anyone here want to protest the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? You have a chance, okay? Anyone here doesn't like the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? Shout now. I'm inviting you, shout, tell me why you think it's a bad thing for kids here to have some lessons, to get some great meals, for this great community center to help the kids and families of this neighborhood that I represent. Do you want to yell about that? Do you want to yell about that? Okay. I didn't think so. You shouldn't. You should not be yelling and shouting down the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. This is a great place. I am very glad to be here. I am glad to pay tribute to the parents, the teachers, and the kids who spend time here. I want to thank those kids again for the beautiful Canadian flag that they painted for me. They painted it for me because I'm their member of parliament. And I keep it in my office with pride, and also to remind me of something important. To remind me of the people I work for. To remind me of the people it's my job to serve. And so I know who I serve. I serve Canadians. I serve the kids and the teachers and the parents for whom this is such an important community center. And so I want us all to take a moment to give a big round of applause to my bosses, the kids and the teachers of the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. Okay, so we're all agreed we love the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. Yeah? Do we think it's great that kids can have a great time here, that they can learn, that they can get a great meal? Okay. And do we think it's important to have a democracy? And do we think it's important to state our position and defend our country? And I think we all agree, it's okay to protest. It's good to protest. It's part of being Canadian. But it is not okay to stop others from speaking, right? Okay. Glad we've established that. So, my name is Christa Freeland. And I am running to be leader of the Liberal Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada. I am here to stand for Canadians and to fight for Canadians, and a little bit of banging is not going to get in my way. And it's not going to get in our way, is it, either? If you want to stand up to Donald Trump, and I'm going to do that, you can't let a little bit of noise bug you, can you? No, you sure can't, and we sure won't, right? Alors, je m'appelle
My name is Krista Freeland. And I am running to become a leader of the Liberal Party and to become the next Prime Minister of Canada.
Welcome to my neighborhood. To the community I have the privilege of representing in Parliament. Yeah. So many of you here are already my friends. Neighbors on Marlborough Avenue, teachers who taught my kids at the wonderful Cottingham Elementary School, parents of other kids from that school, terrific people who volunteer with Yvonne at the Avenue Road Food Bank on Wednesdays. And parishioners we've gotten to know at Church of the Messiah, just up the road. You're my friends, you're my neighbors, a lot of you are related to me. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to be supported by the people who know you the best. But for those of you I haven't met yet, here and across the country, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about why I'm running to lead our amazing country. I am the very proud mother of 3 amazing kids. I really am the very proud mother of 3 amazing kids who put up with stuff like that. Not that often, but sometimes. And they hold their heads and they keep on going. And I'm so proud of you guys and so grateful to you. And I'm the wife for more than 26 years now. I was a child bride of a very amazing guy who a lot of you know, Graham. And while Toronto is now my home, I was born in Peace River, Alberta. A place in the rural parts of our country that Stéphane Lauzon spoke about so movingly. My dad's a farmer and a small-town lawyer. And my mother was a Ukrainian immigrant who arrived here with her family as a child. I owe so much to my parents. My dad hired men to help on the farm with seeding and at harvest, but he always insisted on taking the very earliest shift himself. My mother, who couldn't speak English on her first day of school in Canada, was one of just 7 women in her law school class at the University of Alberta. You learn a lot when you grow up in northern Alberta. You learn grit. You learn the value of hard work, and you learn the value of a real community. People in the peace country look out for each other. When it's 40 below, you don't have a lot of choice. My parents worked hard, and Freeland farms grew and thrived. But they were never fancy. And so it was thanks to our great public schools, to my amazing teachers, to generous scholarships, that I had the chance to go away to university, to places I could have never aspired to reach without our country's help. And that changed my life forever. As I was finishing my studies, Soviet communism started to collapse. It was an incredible and inspiring time in the world. I traveled east to tell that story. I covered the fall of the Soviet Union, the rise of Putin, the oligarchs. I covered presidents, CEOs, and even a few plutocrats along the way. I had a great career, so much better than I could ever have imagined as a little girl in Peace River. But no matter where my reporting took me, Canada was always home. And I got really worried by what I saw Stephen Harper and Pierre Poilievre doing to our country. So in 2013, I took a really big risk. I quit my job, I packed up my 3 kids, and moved back to Canada to run for the Liberal Party. I ran first in a contested nomination, which I could have lost. Then in a by-election, which I could have lost too. I wasn't running then to be Prime Minister. I was running to be a member of Parliament, an MP for a party that was in 3rd place and being written off by many as on its way to extinction. I won, thanks to so many of the great Liberals in this room. Thank you for 2013. Thank you for everything we did then. Thank you for everything that we have been doing ever since. Thank you, Liberals in this community. You are amazing. When I did win, I proudly took up my seat in the farthest back corner of the House of Commons. Because when I did win, I proudly took up my seat in the farthest back corner of the House of Commons. Because I was there to serve you, my constituents, to fight for Canadians, and to help rebuild the Liberal Party.
I learned a lot. When I was in opposition, I met Canadians from all corners of our country, including in Quebec. I improved my French. which was a big priority for me and for all of us, I think. Especially today.
And I can promise you all, whether I win or lose this race, I am running in the next federal election. I hope we're all ready to put up some lawn signs. I know Paul's already working on it. Every other leadership contender needs to make that same commitment. Because in the coming election, the Liberal Party will need all hands on deck. Je vous le promets.
I make a pledge to you now. Whether I win or lose this race, I commit to you to running in the next federal election. All the other candidates in this race should make the same commitment as me. In the next election, it'll take all hands on deck.
In 2015, I moved from the backbenches into government. As trade minister, I delivered a trade deal with the European Union, more valuable today. I did, and that deal is more valuable today than ever. As foreign minister, I stood up to Donald Trump. I led the fight to save NAFTA and Canadian jobs, even when the Conservatives wanted me to back down. And
when Donald Trump imposed illegal tariffs on steel and aluminum, I defended us. And once again, we won. As Deputy Prime Minister, I led Canada's response to the pandemic by helping Canadians and Canadian businesses at a time when they needed it most.
As Finance Minister, I stabilized the economy during the COVID recession. We brought inflation and interest rates down more effectively than any other country in the G7. And 50 years after Canadian women first started the fight, and thanks to the leadership of pioneering women in Quebec, I am so glad to have finally brought in $10 a day daycare across the country. Donc, un gros merci aux féministes québécoises.
A great vote of thanks to Quebec feminists.
These are accomplishments I'm proud of. These are accomplishments all Liberals should be proud of. But as a party, we need to recognize that today, Canadians want and need us to relentlessly focus on one thing: the economy. Canadians want good jobs, homes they can afford, and great care for their kids. They want a government that is as careful with Canada's money as Canadians are with their own. These bread and butter issues are more important today than ever because our country is facing what could well be an existential threat. Tomorrow, Donald Trump will be inaugurated as President of the United States. He has threatened to hit Canada with 25% tariffs on everything we sell to the U.S. He wants to steal our jobs and drive away investment. He has spoken clearly and repeatedly about making our Canada the 51st state. Yeah, and he's threatened to use economic coercion to do so. That is absolutely right. We do have to stop him, and we will. So here's my promise. If you choose me to become leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister, I will lead a true Canadian response to the threat we now face. We will be united. We will be strong. We will be smart. And that's why we will win. We will. Je vais rassembler.
I will bring the provinces and the territories together. I will bring business leaders and workers together as well, Canadians from across the country, I will bring them together, no matter which party they support. I did this when we renegotiated NAFTA last time. I did it during the pandemic. And I will do it again this time.
I will unite every province and territory, business leaders and working people, and Canadians from every walk of life and of every political conviction. I did it during NAFTA. I did it during COVID. And I will do it again. This is the lesson of the peace country. When it's 40 below, every man is your friend, and you don't lock your cabin door. When we play as Team Canada, we win. Unity is the first step. Next, we need to recognize this is a time for Canada to be strong. So, I have a message today for President Trump. We are your neighbor and your most important trading partner. You export more to Canada than to China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. Canadians and Americans are friends. We're often family. We are allies. We have fought shoulder to shoulder in 2 world wars, in Korea, in Afghanistan. We won't pick a fight with you. We don't want a fight with you. But if the fight comes to our door, remember, we love our country just as much as you love yours. Canada is not for sale, and our sovereignty is not negotiable. Canada
is not for sale, and our sovereignty is non-negotiable.
So, if you hit us, we will hit back. And I promise, if I'm Prime Minister, our response to illegal and unjustified tariffs will be dollar-for-dollar retaliation. If you force our hand, we will inflict the biggest trade blow that the United States has ever endured.
This is a long one, eh, guys? It's a very long speech. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm going to go through read some of your nice, lovely, angry. Oh, Magic. Hey, Magic. What a joke. Okay, we got to go up. Smith is a premier. Smith is a premier of Alberta. I don't know if I don't think Pierre is going to give up his spot. Welcome, Carol Hintz. Hints of mints. Magic says fish. What drugs is she on? I don't think she's on any. She looks like she lost a little bit of weight. She hasn't been doing that the long speech type that she did, like that type like talking to a child. She has dropped that type. She doesn't seem overly, my opinion here, she seems actually, I don't know if it'll work, but it seems like, a lot of the things that I had made fun of her about, remember, everyone knows I made the Mr. Speak. I had lots of fun with it, doing all these videos. None of these things I could use on her on this speech right now. It's kind of, maybe she has had a couple drinks. Yeah, Ozempic, possibly. Yeah, they're possibly, because she's lost weight. She's still wearing that same dress, and you can see that there's a lot of excess material there. Not to overly think, so that's what I mean. She's lost weight. She's not doing that awful speech. I don't know how to make fun of her right now. To be honestly, make fun of her, that'll stick. I think how they did the Freeland when the Freeland when they did that thing, it was a pretty good thing when a good way to, better than what Trudeau did, to shut down the protesters. I don't know. We gotta. I believe if you're gonna make a funny comment, it has to have truth in it. It can't be to make it stick and to make it funny. Like when I personally think that Mr. Speaker, I did that and with the witches laugh. It's because it worked. It fit. But she dropped that, and it totally eliminated my whole humor thing on her. It's kind of frustrating. It's frustrating when a politician starts seeing your mockery and stops it, because now I got to find a new one. She's trying to mutate, but it's fair. I think honestly, Magic 12, I think she is mutating, and I personally think it's working. I don't know. There is some fun to be made of this speech and something. I just haven't found it yet. And I haven't seen the Conservatives' arguments against her. I don't think they're sticking. Doesn't mean that she's going to get elected and all this and that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying she's made it. She's become a harder target because she dropped a lot of the things that I was using as, I don't want to use that word. The joke bag, pulling out of the joke bag. All I have to do is put the witches laugh and then with a slow Mr. Speaker. It was hilarious. I don't know about you people, but I found myself funny. I found that funny as hell. Now it's not going to work. I'm not saying so much to say, but nothing to talk about. Okay, Jason Smith, there's something. This is a very long one. What did Barry say? You ever look at where pipeline number 9 goes? Pipeline number 9. No, I don't. Number 9. Isn't that like a movie? It's possible. There is. Okay, Big D says there is possible downsides to that Ozempic. Oh, really? I never taken it. I think exercise, weight training, exercise, and stop eating. Stop eating. We all have a bad habit of eating, and it's just whatever it is. Me, I would eat so I could sleep. What I would do is I just overeat, because I'm like, if it's 3 a.m, I got to work in the morning. I get up at 5. I got to get at least 2 hours. Not from any drugs. It's just sometimes I'm thinking, right? Thinking about politics or something silly like that. And so what I would do is I just eat. I'd be like, well, if I eat like 2 Kraft dinner boxes, I know I will sleep. My dogs go, Mr. Tweaker. Oh, it was hilarious. Oh, it was funny. She's doing a pretty good job of reading this speech. It's John Lennon made number 9 famous. Oh. She has a coach, Barry Kay. Yeah, she has a coach. I agree. And whoever's coaching her is, I think, has looked at my mockeries and they're not doing it. And I wish they'd hire me. I'd have no money. I don't care who I'd work for at this point. Well, yeah, I do. I would. I need money. I'm freaking poor. But it's coming back, guys. It's coming back. It's changing. I can already see my algorithm has changed. Everything's switching. So, Facebook still hates me. Her ski legs probably make that noise, Mr. Squeaker. I she's lost a lot of weight. Look at her chin. She's got a stronger chin. Maybe some plastic surgery to make her jaw bigger. Pipeline number 9. Okay, sorry. Sex Edmund Thunder. Is that eyeball? Who are you? Do you know me? I just got a feeling I know who this eyeball was. Pipeline 9 is one of the world. Okay, reading it properly here. Pipeline 9 is the one that would mess up Eastern Canada if we start a trade war because we didn't build one in the northern border. Pipeline number 9 is the one that goes through America. We're not going to have a long border. We have, there's 20 states, listen people, there's 20 states that Canada is the biggest exporter, and Freeland and the Team Canada already said if he hits us with these tariffs, we're going to just nail orange juice and appliance companies. And we sell raw goods to the states. They make money by making value added to it. Make it, like we sell them gypsum, they sell us drywall, right? So these tariffs, that's why I say what he's done, Trump has done. He got Trudeau to bend the knee and retire. And I think that's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to deal with Trudeau. Year of the snake. Yeah, it's the year of the snake for China. So I think and then every province has an actual plan on how they're going to deal with the border. I personally think what he wanted to do, he did it. And I don't expect to see tariffs on Canada because it's not there's a problem. There's a problem with that. Okay, the 21 states, Canada. So I think he's smart enough to know that he did what he needed to do with a tweet. A tweet. We're spending $1 billion federally, and every province has a plan. So, but hey, we're gonna find out on Monday. The 100 executive orders. We're gonna see what he really thinks, and I don't even know if Trump hates me or not. I don't even know. You know what I mean? And I'm a supporter, and everyone is in the same boat. Even his supporters are like, I don't know, we don't know, and it's kind of scary. But it makes it. I can't use that word. Dirty fruit picking hippie. Oh yeah. I know, that's a nice valley. Okay, I know who you are. I don't know if we are acquainted. Okay, so no, we're not. We're not at all. Okay, I thought you were someone else. That eyeball and what you said, it was exactly as someone I know. It was very uncannily. Which, that's a beautiful area of the country, a wonderful place. I come from also a growing area. I picked raspberries, and I found it to be one of the I wish I could have done it for a living, for life, and afforded a home, so I could do like politics on the side, but no. Who let the dogs out? Is that what you're saying? No, it's all over. Remember that people cast aspersions on others, and one thing I'll tell you guys, AI is changing the game. I'm being able to out people on my site who have been attacking my channel, and it's helped through the algorithm is changing, and it's more aware of it. More on hilarious. This was a form of insider trading from Trump when you're not even sworn. Yeah, he did it. He did a very good job. So I'm going to expect some stuff. He's going to do he's doing his rally right now. I'm going to just let hers finish, and then I want to watch the rally as well. There's only a few minutes left. Well, there's quite a while left.
Canada will not escalate. But if I am Prime Minister, Canada will never back down.
Canada is not going to escalate.
All right, that's it, boys and girls.
If I am the Prime Minister of Canada,
sirs and gents,
Canada will
and
never back down.
ma'ams and ladies. She's into the French section of her speech. I think